So this is Why Are You Honking at Me? And I'm just going to talk to people about their own experiences being honked at because it fucking pisses people off.
You know, honestly, I consider myself attractive. Not in this particular moment in time. It's usually okay when people compliment me and stuff. But there is a huge difference between being complimented and being run over. And one of the one of the things that people tend to do is they tend to take advantage of girls when they feel like they're down and out. And that was what happened that one night because I was really coming down off of a high that I was high on because I was hanging out with friends and whatnot. I was walking home and I thought I would be safe in a coat and a skirt. What ended up happening was on a dark parking lot as I was walking from the bus station, which is remarkable because it's a bus station and it's public. Um, this man started following me, and it was very dark, and I thought that he was just, exiting like me. So, me being really high and me being very tired and, stumbling home, I kind of just let him pass. I went off into the side to let him pass, and he ended up stopping right behind me, trying to talk to me. And when that didn't work, because I simply wanted to be left alone, he tried to grab me, and he tried to grab me, and I had to literally hit him to get him off of me. And what ended up happening then was I got very scared and I called my friend on the phone, who, by the way, lived like 20 minutes away and was still doing nothing at this point. So I started walking to the back of the CVS. Uh, it was a parking lot, and it was a very well lit parking lot too, and there were so many people there. And they didn't do a thing as this car started, like, you know, pulling up past me and running and driving in circles, and he tried to run me over like once or twice. And me being vulnerable, me being tired, me being sleepy, me not being in complete control, he totally noticed that and he tried to not only run me over, but he tried to drive me. I was driven into a corner of the parking lot. I had to hide behind some poles just so that he wouldn't run me over and he would hit the poles first. And at this point I was screaming, I was crying, I was sobbing into my phone to my friend who was doing absolutely nothing. And he drove away. And I was stuck there. I was stunned. I couldn't believe what had just happened. I was rooted to the spot, scared. I was terrified that more cars would be coming along and doing the same way. Now, the worst thing ended up happening. He came back. He came back a second time. And this time he tried to run me over, but he saw that I was hiding behind something. So he literally got out of the car. He literally got out of the car, he stepped out, and at this point, I had gone beyond terror. I had gone beyond crying. I've been screaming at him, please, no, leave me alone. Leave me alone, no. And he flat out looked at me with his car open, with his lights in my face, and he said no. And he started coming towards me. He was walking towards me. The passenger door was open. I kind of figured out what he was going to do, and in terror I ran into the CVS store. And it was amazing how there were so many cars driving by, there were so many people coming by, and I was screaming, and he was literally about to walk into the store with me, chasing me, and everybody just stayed out of it, everybody. And there were even a couple cars honking in support, and there was even, like, there were strangers talking to me all the time, and I couldn't stand it. There was a car that said, do you need anything, do you need to get in the car? And at that point, my whole conflict was just about being forced into a car. I was terrified. I couldn't walk home. It was a 15-minute walk home, and I had to call a ride just so I could walk home. I couldn't walk. And it's like, honking is terrible in of itself. I deal with it every time I walk in the street longer than 5 minutes, like, literally. And sometimes, and it's like that's happened for 2 years, and somehow as I got older it escalated, and people are just literally just pulling up in front of me, and I get terrified every time they do that. And it's gotten to this point of where it was attempted kidnapping just because I was a girl and I was dressed nicely, and I was tired and coming down, and he tried to kidnap me just because of those three factors.
And like, I don't even think it could have all been like. I don't even think a factor for him was the drugs. I think I don't know.
Well, the thing that really got me was that right off the bat, he said how much. Like, he didn't know me, he didn't know anything about me.
Right.
And he pulled up to me as if like he already knew I was a prostitute or something, or he assumed that. And he that was it. And when I told him I don't know what you're talking about, like, please go away, he started coming out of the car because if he wasn't going to have me throw money,